All right, good morning everybody. This is Brian here at the Butcher Shop. We're going to do another short video for you today. Today's topic is corned beef. Happens to be close to St. Patrick's Day, so we're going to make you some excellent corned beef down here at the Butcher Shop. This is our house recipe. We make everything in-house. We're going to start with the finest prime grade brisket and also bottom round flats for this project. So let's go ahead and get started, guys. All right, so now that we have our brisket and our bottom round flat here, we're going to go ahead and start trimming some stuff up. There's some excess fat and things on here that we don't really want. That way we can guarantee that we have a nice premium product when it goes out the front door for you guys to go home and cook up. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and do the brisket first. This is what we call a packer brisket. It has an excess amount of fat on it. It has the full nose, the decal, and everything on it. So we're going to go ahead and trim this up and get down to the trimmed up version of what we want to have for this meat when it goes to the corned beef brine. Couple small layers and kernels of fat that are embedded down in here, but that's what we want. That's what gives this meat the nice marbling, and that's what makes it prime, and that's what gives it all that good flavor. So if you don't know, in the category of beef, the way that they grade the USDA is prime is the highest grade possible. This is roughly 2%, maybe slightly more of the cattle grade out this high. From there we have a CAB, which is upper 2/3 of choice, choice being directly after that, and then you have a select and a no roll product. Here at the Butcher Shop we don't use anything except for prime or CAB. We are giving you the best product possible. Just about got this brisket trimmed up here. We want to leave some fat on here. We're going to leave about a 1/4 inch overall fat around the outside, but we're going to get rid of this heavy pockets of fat. That way we're not having excess fat when you're roasting it, crock potting, or however you like to go about cooking this up. All right, so this is our trimmed up version of the packer brisket. There are actual two main muscle groups involved here. We have what we refer to as the point. That's the side that resides here. It's the uppermost part of the breast, and then underneath this is the flat. The flat's a little bit leaner, a little bit thinner. The point, I think, has a little bit better flavor. It has a little bit more marbling in it. It's a little bit looser texture meat, but you can't go wrong either way. We cut these to any size you need, roughly about 3 to 4 pounds. That way they fit in your crock pot or your roaster. You can add your potatoes, carrots, cabbage, whatever you want. So we can custom make these to a large size if you need for a large dinner, or we usually have these cut and ready to go about 3 to 4 pounds for you. So in regards to the brisket, this is going to be a looser grain meat. It's going to shred up a little bit more than the bottom round. We'll get to the bottom round in a minute. It's more of a slicing type roast. It's a little tighter grain. Both of these are going to be absolutely fantastic. If you want to have corned beef sandwiches or something the next day, I would recommend maybe getting a bottom round flat. But if you're going to do hash or something like that the next day, then the brisket might be your better option. Either way, you can't go wrong. These are fantastic. We have these all year round. We just happen to highlight them mostly around St. Patrick's Day because that's what everybody's looking for. But we do have these throughout the entire year. All right, we're going to move on to the bottom round flat next. This comes out of the hind quarter versus the brisket, which comes out of the front quarter. It has less fat on it. It's a little bit leaner, so therefore there's a little bit less trimming. But overall, we still need to trim some things off this. There's some connective tissues and things that we like to remove here. Again, trying to keep the quality the utmost possible, making sure that when you get home and you cook this up, you have nothing but a premium product ready to go into your oven and or your crock pot. On this side here, there's a heavy piece of connective tissue that separates the bottom round and the top round and the sirloin tip. We like to take this off. It's a little bit chewy, so we make sure we remove that for you. Then on the back, when we flip it over, it's already trimmed really tight. It's just the nature of the animal. There's not a lot of excess fat, opposite of the brisket. So this is pretty much trimmed up, ready to go. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to brine this up. We're going to use our in-house seasonings and recipes that we develop here at the Butcher Shop. And we're going to do this a little bit different than the old school way. We're going to inject these to make sure that we get good penetration of our seasonings and flavors all the way through. That way we have a nice consistent flavoring all the way through the piece of meat. Guarantee that you have a nice profile all the way through. So this is what the product looks like after it's gone through the curing and pickling process. Now these are ready to go ahead and finish the final process, which is cutting and packaging and getting them out to you, the customer, so that you can take them home and enjoy them. So I'm cutting this brisket into, it looks like it's going to be 5 total pieces for this one. We're going to start with the flat end. I'm going to show you what this looks like. Now you can see that we've had the fat all trimmed down. As we move on up into the centerpiece, it's starting to get a little bit of the point on it. And the marbling in this is just incredible, guys. The flavor is going to be fantastic. If you could smell what I smell right now, you would be excited. You'd be on your way down here to try this out. Okay, so the other option we have besides our brisket is our bottom round flat. I'm going to go ahead and cut this now and show you why it's slightly different. The main difference is it's going to be much leaner than the brisket, so if that's something that you might enjoy, then I certainly recommend going with the bottom round. I personally prefer the brisket, but we're going to go ahead and cut this bottom round flat and show you what the inside of it looks like. Again, we're going to take these into a fairly small piece, maybe somewhere in the neighborhood of 3, maybe 4 pounds. As I move in, this piece is getting too big to fit in our packaging, but more importantly to fit in most people's roasters and or crock pots. So we're going to change the direction of our cut. We're going to cut this in half the other way now and still keep that piece size that we're looking for that 3 or 4 pound piece. But this allows us to keep it where, again, it fits into your cooking apparatus. This is the center of the bottom round flat. You can see there's much less marbling in here, and there's much less fat on the outside edges, which we already trimmed down. So in comparison to, say, the brisket, you can see the difference in the two. We have much more fat in the brisket, much more marbling. Either way, these are going to be absolutely fantastic. When you slow roast these, they're going to be nice and tender and delicious for you. The next step that we're going to do is we're going to add a slight amount of pickling spice to these so that when we package them up, there's some additionally pickling spice in the package ready for you to go. So this is our house-made blend pickling spice, and we're just going to kind of sprinkle it across the top. A little goes a long way, so we don't need to have a lot of this. Now it is ready to go and be packaged up. So here's our packaging machine. What this machine allows us to do is package this product, keep it just as fresh as possible for you, the customer. It's going to go through a normal cryovac process, removing the atmosphere and keeping the product fresh. As it goes through the machine, it will exit the back side into a nice, clean, finished product ready to go out for sale. So if you see this, you'll recognize it out front from the video. I hope you enjoy as much as we enjoyed doing the video for you today.